The DS is my favorite console of all time. Let me tell you why it should be yours too. Now, I'm not trying to rag on everything that comes out today, but I do feel like there's a void or gap right now in terms of gaming consoles. And I don't want this video to just be nostalgia fuel, because as much as I do have nostalgia for the DS, I feel like there are objective reasons to love it. And I can't be the only one, because look at the outcry for a DS-like console right now. Just look at the new releases from these Chinese companies like Aion, Aioneo, Retroid, all coming out with DS-like consoles. They're all trying to capture the magic of the DS. But what is that magic? What made the DS so special? Why did it sell so well? And why is it remembered so fondly that we're trying to copy it even today? Well, let's jump in and find out. When I was about 6 or 7, I got a red DS Lite from my grandmother at Christmas. I was so excited because I had been wanting one for years. Everyone at school had one and would flash it around, and all I had back then was a Leapfrog. Now don't get me wrong, I love the Leapfrog, but it wasn't a DS. The very first thing I noticed about the DS that made it so special to me were the games. The wide range of games you could play on that thing were unimaginable. Once I'd finish a game, I'd go to EB Games, now called GameStop, and I'd trade it in for another one. And I didn't like every game, but some games were so good that I play them even to this day. And the games were cheap too, but many of them hold dear memories in my heart. Some games that I remember the most were games like Cars, Lego Star Wars, and the all-time favorite, New Super Mario Bros. That one was my personal favorite. There were many more games, but the point is, all these games were great. They all felt like fully fledged home console experiences. In terms of game mechanics, plot, they didn't feel compromised like many of the mobile games today. I never had Mario Kart DS, but I did play it on my DS using the game sharing feature. We'll talk more about that a bit later. I love Mario Kart DS, and like many other games, it wasn't a watered down game for the DS. It stood on its own, and in many ways, it was even better than its predecessor, Double Dash. Now, the games weren't the only thing that made the DS unique. The form factor did. The form factor was genius, and I'm not just talking about the two screens and the touchscreen. I'm talking about the clamshell design. The design was probably an evolution from the Game Boy Advance SP because its design was perfect for everyone. Having a strong device that is self-protective doesn't just benefit kids, it benefits adults too, because we love to just throw things and break them. This was a hugely underrated feature, and honestly, it's a luxury that's missed today. I love my Steam Deck and my Switch, they're both great, but there is no chance they are ever going into my pocket. Even if they could fit into my pocket, I'd be worried about the thumbsticks getting messed up, getting stuck, getting pushed. The modern consoles of today just are not designed to be put into your pocket. Being able to just snap the DS closed and shove it where the sun don't shine was the ultimate convenience. And it's a convenience that we lost today. Now, don't forget too, yes, it had dual screens, but I'd argue that the touchscreen was actually the biggest and most unique innovation. There weren't really any other devices around at the time when the DS came out that utilized the touchscreen in the way the DS does. Phones were still rocking physical buttons, and even other portable consoles like the PSP, they didn't have a touchscreen. This actually made the DS ahead of its time in many ways. The DS felt like it was designed for just fun. Not to win any awards, not to be the most powerful console, but just designed for maximum fun. And the social aspect was great too. PictoChat made our DSs feel like phones before we even had phones. Being able to send funny pictures back and forth was just a joy. And they didn't have to add PictoChat. Honestly, it was kind of a luxury that we got it, but it was just many of the little things that Nintendo put in just to put that extra effort in, just to make the whole console a really unique and fun experience. The consoles of today can feel a bit dry, like the modern Switch doesn't even have any themes. What's up with that? And it's just little things like that that contribute to making the DS one of the most interesting experiences. Also, being able to share your games wirelessly so you could have 4 people play on one cartridge was insane. It gets rid of the comment, oh, I don't have that game. The DS doesn't get in the way. It just works. Even being able to play GBA games, they didn't have to do that either. And I didn't even use that feature that much. For Band Hero, I used it a lot. But many people did love that even if they upgraded from the GBA to the DS, their whole catalog of GBA games was still playable. The thing that I like most about the DS, however, the thing that I wish consoles had today, the thing that has yet to be matched by any console ever or any rival, the thing that even all the DS successors couldn't even match. You know what it is? Let me give you a hint. What's the one thing everyone's surprised about when they pick up their DS after 10 years? The very fact that it still turns on. The battery life. I don't know what magic that Nintendo cooked to basically make the DS's battery an arc reactor, but it worked. And I was always so impressed by the battery life. I remember there was one week in particular I was playing my DS when I was a kid, and I played it every single day for a whole week without charging it once. Even today, if I pick up my DS, it turns on. And no, I haven't charged it in over 10 years. But honestly, phones today aren't even that bad. You can usually get a whole day out of them. It's just modern consoles that are just absolutely pathetic. My Switch is lucky to get even 2 hours playing Mario Kart. That's just sad. And my Steam Deck, if it's playing a heavy game, it's lucky to get 2 to 3 hours. Even all the other consoles, other YouTube reviewers online, most of them are saying they're getting under 2 hours. It's just not the same as it was back then. And these are quantifiable numbers. No one can tell me the DS's battery life wasn't the best battery life of any console ever. This isn't nostalgia, these are just straight up numbers. I eventually got a 3DS when I was a bit older, and the battery life really disappointed me compared to the DS. It was very noticeable. My 3DS, even with the 3D effect off, was still only getting maybe 4 hours of gameplay. But am I wrong? What's your favorite console? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.